Have you ever spent just $5 and completely changed someone's life? Or maybe someone changed your life with just one small act of kindness. Today's story is about a simple cup of coffee. It wasn't expensive. It wasn't magical. But it changed two lives forever. Listen carefully. Because, by the end of this story, you may start looking at kindness in a completely different way. And while you enjoy the story, you'll naturally improve your English listening skills. Let's begin. Hello everyone. Welcome to Learn English through real-life stories. I'm happy you're here. In this podcast, you'll improve your English naturally through emotional, interesting, and inspiring stories. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Just relax, listen, and enjoy the journey. Now, let's start today's story. It was a cold Monday morning. The streets were busy. People were walking quickly. Everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Emma, a 26-year-old office worker, stopped at her favorite coffee shop. She looked tired. She had worked late the night before. She ordered a small coffee. While waiting, she noticed an old man standing outside the cafe. His clothes were old. His shoes were worn out. He wasn't asking anyone for money. He simply looked hungry. Many people walked past him. Some looked away. Some pretended not to see him. Emma watched quietly. She thought, maybe someone else will help him. Then she looked at her coffee. She looked at the old man again. Suddenly, she walked back to the counter. She smiled at the cashier. "Can I buy another coffee? And a sandwich?" The cashier nodded. Of course. Emma took the food outside. She walked toward the old man. "Good morning," she said softly. "I thought you might like some breakfast." The old man looked surprised. For a few seconds, he couldn't say anything. Then, he smiled. It was a small smile, but it was full of gratitude. "Thank you," he whispered. "You have no idea how much this means." Emma smiled back. "It isn't much." The old man looked into her eyes. "It may not be much to you, but today, you reminded me that people still care." Emma felt something strange. She came to buy coffee. But now, her heart felt warmer than the coffee in her hands. She walked to work. But she couldn't stop thinking about the old man. Days passed. Life became busy again. Meetings, emails, deadlines. Everything felt normal. Then, 3 months later, something unexpected happened. Emma entered the same coffee shop. The cashier smiled widely. "Do you remember the old man?" Emma nodded. "Yes. He comes here every Friday." Emma looked surprised. "Really?" The cashier smiled. "Yes. And today, he asked me to give you this." The cashier handed her a small envelope. Inside, there was a handwritten letter. It said, "Dear Emma, You probably don't remember me, but I remember you every single day. That morning, I had lost hope. I had lost my job. I had no family nearby. I believed nobody cared. Your breakfast didn't solve all my problems, but your kindness reminded me that I still mattered. That one moment gave me the courage to keep trying. Today, I have a job. I have a small apartment. And every Friday, I buy breakfast for someone who needs it. Because kindness should never stop with one person. Thank you for changing my life. Emma's eyes filled with tears. She smiled. Not because she had changed someone's life, but because one small act had created many more. From that day, Emma started a new habit. Every Friday, she helped one stranger. Sometimes it was food. Sometimes it was a warm conversation. Sometimes it was simply a smile. She learned something important. Kindness doesn't need to be big. It only needs to be real. Years later, people in that neighborhood called it Friday kindness. Nobody knew who started it. Nobody wanted credit. They simply wanted to continue. One small act that had changed everything. What can we learn from this story? Sometimes, we think changing the world requires a lot of money, or power, or influence. But that's not true. Sometimes, a smile, a kind word, or a simple cup of coffee can give someone hope. And hope can change a life. Remember, small actions create big changes. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed today's story, listen to it again tomorrow. Each time you listen, your English will become stronger without memorizing grammar. In our next episode, I'll tell you another real-life inspired story with easy English, new vocabulary, and an unforgettable lesson. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and remember, every great English speaker started with one simple story.